Eagle Out, and today we're going to talk about Jaylen Carter wanting more rings. Also, we're going to talk about Jayden Daniels. Does he respect Quinyon Mitchell? And lastly, Lamm. Remember that guy we signed from Miami? He said some great things about the Philadelphia Eagles culture, but let's get straight into it.
My word, y'all get on my nerves. I get high and land like a bird.
All right, man, before we hop straight into the topics, I want to show this little clip of Jaylen Hunt. I can't really show it, but I could talk as you guys see it. He's working out, doing what he had to do. He's the guy, I believe, in Philadelphia. We know who he is, but a lot of guys outside of Philadelphia, they mention him here and there. People more excited about Nolan Smith outside of the fan base because we know what Nolan Smith is, but who's going to play beside Nolan Smith on the other side? And I think Jaylen Hunt has a huge opportunity to make a name of himself outside of Philadelphia. I think he could be a guy like, yo, when you mentioning those top edge guys, I think Jaylen Hunt name is going to start getting buzz and more buzz because the dude is just gifted. Telling you, this dude in college at one point played safety, played linebacker, now at edge. So he really knows the defensive side of the ball. He knows the game of football. So it's going to be good seeing Jaylen Hunt go into year two with a lot of expectations, especially from the fan base. But speaking of expectations, and the guy we got high expectations for is Jaylen Carter. So we know Jaylen Carter contract is coming up. We know he got like a 5th-year option or whatever. But we also know how he's going to pay him the bag. And it was asked to Jaylen Carter, like, what is important, that bag, the contract extension, or getting more rings? And this is what Jaylen Carter had to say. Money's good and all of that. But after we won that ring, you saw how we looked. That's better than just one person getting paid. I'm just grinding every day to try to get another Super Bowl. So that's what Jaylen Carter said when he was asked about his contract extension. See, this is the thing about the winning culture, is that people will come here on discounts because they know they got opportunity to go far, maybe hit their bonuses and win the ring. Yes, of course. Again, players want to get paid for sure. Like, I'm pretty sure even when Jalen Hurts' contract came up, he wanted to get paid, but he didn't want to stifle the team. That's why when he was the highest paid, you're like, hey, I didn't ask for all that, because he wanted to see A.J. Brown get paid, Devontae get paid, the O-line get paid. We was able to pay Saquon because Jalen Hurts' contract is so flexible, and Jaylen Carter, because he want to keep winning. Now he has the same mindset. Like, of course, like, he want to get paid. Money's good and all, but he's like, look, give me the money, give me as much as you can. You don't have to stifle the team. Just make it enough whereas though I'm satisfied. And look, if we could keep winning rings, I am cool with that. Even Zach Bond took a discount. Like, yo, I wanted to stay in Philadelphia because of the culture. The culture is strong. He did his thing with Fangio, a team that believed in him. And just give me enough whereas though, I feel like I'm satisfied. At least I'm in that top-ish, linebacker paid group. And, Zach Bond is here to stay. And I think Jaylen Carter is going to take that same approach. He might be the highest paid at the time, but I don't think his cap hits are going to be that bad. And I think he's going to find a way not to stifle the team, or at least tell his agent, like, look, I want to get paid, but don't stifle the team. Don't make it seem like, yo, I'm handicapping the cap because of this contract. I don't think Jaylen Carter wants to do that. My personal opinion. But speaking of the culture, there's a guy that came from Miami. And this is big on Miami side of Twitter. I don't think much Eagle guys seen this, but Lamm, he spoke to the media, and he spoke about the difference between the Dolphins and the Eagles, and this is what he had to say. I understand why the Eagles reached 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Players are never late, never toxic, and after every practice, the room spends 15 minutes sharing personal struggles to stay mentally sharp. Something I never got with the Dolphins. Now, to be fair, the Dolphins does. They do come off like a culture that's about partying. We gonna win as much games as we can. They fan base is not rabid like ours, so they go to their games more like it's just like some regular event there. Whereas though Philadelphia, we go to those games. Yes, it's an event, but it's a big event, and we want to win. They go there like, oh, we just gonna watch our players play and whatever, whatever. They just got a bad culture, man. They got a very bad culture. I was actually, cooking up with a Miami guy. He's a fan of the Miami Dolphins. He's more of a draft guy. And I asked him, I'm like, yo, what's going on, in Miami? And I'll retweet that if you follow me on X and our conversation about the Eagles and the Dolphins and stuff. And he was saying, like, yo, we just got bad management. Our fan base is not as rabid as y'all's. And we don't really have depth like that. And there's just really no culture there. But you see Kendall Lamm, he is saying that, like, yo, it's really no culture in Miami. It's not a winning culture. They don't really want to get to know you. We're late every day. We probably just partied that night. That's why they didn't like Vic Fangio, because Vic Fangio tried to go there like, hold on. We got to change some stuff. Like, yo, y'all gotta be in the crib at least during football season at this time, because like we got some games to focus on. Like Vic Fangio, old hater, this, that, and the third. He's those things, okay. He comes to Philadelphia, best defense in the league, win the Super Bowl, got the best out of all his guys, and we start looking at Miami like, yo, y'all coaches suck. They suck, bro. So Kendall Lamm, and I was asked to do that's a Miami fan. He's like, yo, Kendall Lamm was one of those ace that came in and did his job at a high level. He was really surprised the Dolphins didn't resign him. He's a really good swing tackle. So we're going to watch Kendall Lamm. I haven't heard too much about him during camp, but they say he's a guy to watch. So I'll watch him. I keep tabs on him. Let's get into the last topic. Jayden Daniels spoke about Quinyon Mitchell, and he also mentioned Patrick Surtain, because they was asked, like, who you looking forward to, or who was your toughest cornerback battle, and this is what he had to say.
This year, Quinyon's a good choice. But this year, I would probably say I'm excited to go against Pastor Tank.
See, somebody out there in the crowd said Quinyon Mitchell. You're like, yo, that was a good one, but I gotta give it to Patrick Surtain. So that lets you know, Quinyon get his respect in the league as one of those ones for sure. I know Jayden Daniels himself was a rookie last year. So you got two rookies that be coming up. One on the Eagles defensive side, one on Washington offensive side, who's going to battle each other for a very long time. So Quinyon definitely making a name for himself. And then Patrick Surtain been in the game for a long time, so it kind of makes sense why he gave that answer. But I think Quinyon is going to be the one that gave Jayden Daniels fits. They're going to know each other for, 2 games out the year. They're going to see each other a lot. Quinyon more than likely going to be matched up against the best receiver in Washington. So that's a battle to watch. The QB versus the cornerback that he got to deal with. It's not like it's Slay or something that is going to retire or it's his last year or whatever. Nah, Quinyon going to be in this game just as long as Slay. 10, 11 years, 12 years, depending on modern medicine go. Might be in the game for like 15 years. But yeah, man, it's good to see Quinyon get his respect. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel? Jaylen Carter wants rings. Love the money, but he wants his rings. Kendall Lamm on the Eagles culture. And Quinyon Mitchell versus Jayden Daniels. But this is Eagle Al, man. I'm out.